the oceans cover most of our planet. In the depths of the seas and oceans there's a mysterious, wonderful world completely unlike the Earth. Its beauty can amaze any imagination. Man has studied the world ocean by only 5%, but has already made sure that one fact is true. Creatures of such a fantastic type live in its hiding places that you just want to ask them, "Guys, what galaxy did you come from?" Well, let's not torment your curiosity and tickle your nerves, but we offer you to look at the most unusual underwater creatures. Plunge into the unknown thickness of the water world and see its beauty and greatness. Drop all your earthly affairs, subscribe to the channel and see the amazing life that exists underwater. So this is the banded moray eel. Outwardly, the fish resembles a long ribbon painted with rich, bright colors. When moving, it bends, forming a serpentine. It looks very beautiful, live and in the photo. The moray eel lives for about 20 years, and during this period it manages to do a lot. These creatures have an excellent sense of smell, which helps them hunt. The main food of moray eel is medium-sized fish, mollusks, and crustaceans. A feature of this inhabitant of the sea is a constant change in color, but not only that. The most intriguing thing is that the young moray eel is not a boy or a girl, but just a teenager of indeterminate sex, a hermaphrodite. But when they grow to almost a meter in length, they decide that in this life it is time to self-determine and change their color to blue, which means they became males. Having lived some part of its life in a male state, and having matured to a length of more than a meter, the moray eel decides to know life from the other side and turns into a female, at the same time repainting in yellow. An interesting fact, for a long time scientists believed that different colors are different subspecies of moray eels, and only in the 1970s the fact of hermaphroditeness of these fish was established. Well, the next amazing animal on our list is pyrosome. Get acquainted. Pyrosomes are one of the strangest inhabitants of the underwater world. Meeting them underwater is like meeting a live unicorn, and it's hard to capture them on camera. Pyrosomes look like hollow tubes closed at one end. This whole long tube is one pyrosome. However, it is made up of many small organisms that replicate exact copies of themselves and weave together to form one large tube. These organisms are called zooids. These zooids themselves are very tiny and covered with a jelly-like shell. Each such tube starts with just one zooid, which begins to create copies of itself and becomes larger and larger. The final size of the pyrosome depends on the species and age of the initial zooid. It is strongly not recommended to swim inside the pyrosome. Once, some divers found a dead penguin inside such a tube. To a greater extent, ocean currents are responsible for their movement. Modern science knows very little about pyrosomes, since large colonies are quite rare in the ocean. However, some believe that the ocean is actually teeming with these creatures. And this is Batman of the underwater world, blanket octopus or flying squid. All these names belong to one of the most exotic inhabitants of the deep sea, purple tremoctopus. Like a ghost flying on the wings of the night, the tremoctopus soars in the water column, spreading its mantle. However, only the representatives of the weaker sex have a love for dramatic effects and a mantle that appears out of nowhere. Females growing up to 2 meters in length wear their unusual attire in a special bag near their mouth, and in case of danger they straighten it, trying to appear larger and scarier than they really are. Males, in the literal sense of the word, have not matured to possess their own mantle. Against the background of their huge partners, they look like real dwarfs. The size of an average male rarely exceeds 2.5 centimeters. And they weigh 40,000 times less than their girlfriends. This is one of the largest variations in the size of females and males of a single animal species. But on the other hand, males become famous for their inventive hunting strategy. They rip off the stinging tentacles of the jellyfish and use them as hunting weapons. Well, it's quite an odd couple, isn't it? Sea lilies. What a nice name, isn't it? Amazing creatures, sea lilies look like plants, although in fact they belong to the animal world. But it is not surprising, they look really unusual. They really look like something alien. In total, there are two large groups of sea lilies, stalked and unstalked. Those with stems are tied to the bottom of the ocean. Those who do not have a stem swim freely in the ocean water. Sea lilies can be found in any ocean and in any depth. Some of their species live at a depth of 10,000 meters, but most of them live at a shallow depth of 200 meters. These amazing creatures feed by passing seawater through themselves and filtering out nutrients from it. Despite the apparent tenderness, the outside of the body of these creatures is covered with an external skeleton. Their fossilized remains are among the 10 most frequently discovered fossil animals. But the most important fact is that the sea lily is a wonderful, magnificent and amazing creation. Those who manage to see these animals remember them forever. Unfortunately, the current deterioration of the ecological situation in the world ocean is already endangering their survival. And this is Venus girdle. This animal is quite large, and when unfolded, it can be up to 2.5 meters long. Its most notable feature is the transparent ribbon-like shape of the body. Sometimes the animal curls up and becomes really like a belt. But why Venus? Because 8 rows of plates shimmer with all the colors of the rainbow and a very beautiful sight is obtained. These creatures feed on planktonic crustaceans, which are caught and passed to the mouth by numerous antennae. This animal moves due to serpentine body movements. Can also glow in the dark. This is a leafy sea dragon. This fish is a real virtuoso of mimicry. When it swims, the leaves sway as happens with trees in the wind. The sea dragon moves slowly, so from a distance it looks very much like a torn twig of algae. This inhabitant of the sea reaches 35 centimeters in length. In structure, it is similar to an ordinary seahorse. The only difference is that its entire body is covered with plates with wavy edges. The leaflets serve as camouflage to hide from predators. Despite its size and harmless appearance, the leafy sea dragon is a predator. Its diet includes shrimp and small fish, which the toothless dragon simply sucks inside. What an impressive creature is the leafy sea dragon! And this is the small-mouthed macropina. This fish has a very unusual appearance. If you would like to know what is going on in the head of this creature, then it will not be difficult for you to do this. After all, this fish has a completely transparent head. The The size of this fish is small, about 15 centimeters in length, and it feeds mainly on zooplankton. Since the smallmouth macropena has a tubular structure of the eye muscles, its cylindrical eyes can be both in a vertical position and in a horizontal one. Thus, the macropena can spot prey both when it is in front of it and when it swims above it. That is, the fish literally sees through the head. And those brown dots on a transparent surface, which initially could be mistaken for sad eyes, are actually olfactory receptors that help the smallmouth macropena when hunting. Dear friends, this is where our video ends. If you liked the topic unusual animals of our planet, then write to us in the comments and we will definitely make more videos under this heading. See you soon!